but the 2024 Stanley Cup champions, the Florida Panthers, and it was a tremendous championship and watched by all. And the entire team, congratulations on your first ever Stanley Cup win.
At the White House, the Florida Panthers played footsie with a fascist.
And Bob started his career as an undrafted free agent and is now a Stanley Cup champion and will go down as one of the great goalkeepers in all-time history. It's really a big honor for you.
I mean, Bobrovsky as a goaltender is certainly headed to the Hall. Is he in the GOAT conversation? No, absolutely not.
And not to forget Sam Reinhart, who had a legendary shot in Game 7. That certainly was a legendary shot, one that's not going to be forgotten. After securing the puck from Carter, Sam carried it down the ice and flicked a wrist shot, very much like I would do it if I played. And now I'd like to introduce my friend Vinnie Viola, who's a real champion himself. He's a champion at everything he's ever done, loves the military. First thing he did, I see him, he said, you got to do this with the Army. You got to move him here, you got to move him. He's giving me all the instructions. You love the military. I would have liked him, we should have had you in Afghanistan instead of the characters we had.
Way over the line, unnecessary shot here.
So we brought a cohort, to use a term we use in the military, of champions to visit a champion. And your kindness and the hospitality displayed by your staff is a simple reflection of the excellence that you demand of your people.
Here was billionaire owner Vinnie Viola, who was picked in 2016 as Trump's Army Secretary.
Instead of a Ranger tab, because we designed this like the Ranger Battalion, your tab says POTUS. See above the Florida. See that, Rick? That's pretty cool, right? All right, Matthew, come on up here. You're going to talk to the president about your team.
Your father was great. Is he still around? Yeah. He was great.
Thank you. Well, thank you, Mr. President, for having us today. We greatly appreciate it, and being one of the few Americans, who loves this country so much. This is such an incredible day for myself, and you wake up every day and I'm really grateful to be an American. So thank you.
After Matthew Tkachuk gave his speech, they presented Trump with a golden stick and the customary jersey with the man's name on the back with the number 47.
And hey, just a quick break in the action. You should go subscribe to my new show, The Rick Strom Show. I'm going to be interviewing people from sports, music, journalists, authors, sports doctors. It's going to be fantastic. Please go subscribe. Thank you.
Let's break this down further, shall we? So in the aftermath, Tkachuk would tweet, "Grateful every day to be an American." It's so coded off the bat, right? So let's get through it. Thank you very much, Donald Trump, White House, for such an incredible experience today. It was a true honor. Hashtag POTUS, hashtag USA. You could tell that he is tweeting this because of the hashtags. Many fans did not appreciate or like what they saw. Matthew Tkachuk advocating for the LGBTQ plus community, and then not only meeting Trump, but jumping at the bit to say good things about him and how much of an honor it is, just feels like a huge punch to the gut. Here's my question. Should it? I mean, to my recollection, he's posted about Trump, I believe involving golf. He's shown affection for him. What really gets me, though, is to piggyback off that, if he is such an ally, why do you go and meet with this man when he is trying to erase entire communities for political gain? I truly believe it is sheer hypocrisy to laud someone such as this. And then in your spare time, you say, "Oh, I really appreciate you guys and I appreciate Pride Night." Like, cool. Do you practice what you preach? Because it seems like you don't. Mike C. would write, "Well, there goes my last shred of respect for Matthew Tkachuk. Glad handing a convicted felon, rapist, a man who tried to overthrow a government because he lost and is now attacking allies over trade wars that are not needed. Sorry, Matthew. It is not an honor to meet that POS." There's more. Hilariously, one guy who cannot stand Matthew Tkachuk, Hank Green. Hank Green. My, oh my, does he absolutely hate Matthew Tkachuk. Like, it is next level haterade. He's so good. Why can't he just not also be a blankhead, he'd ask, rhetorically. It's only my nightmare because I have a one-sided feud with Matthew Tkachuk, he'd write in another. And then, I hate Matthew Tkachuk, he typed. I'm rooting for Matthew Tkachuk to earn some wisdom by finally missing a clutch goal during the playoffs, he would message. I mean, the hits just kept on coming. One hit that didn't come, though, were the very same people who got mad at Michael and Martellus Bennett, who got mad at Marshawn Lynch, who got mad at LeBron James and Anthony Davis, who got mad at Craig Hodges, who got mad at Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, who got mad at Colin Kaepernick. The same people who say, keep politics and sports separate. Boy, was that crowd silent, huh? The point is, they could never be separate. It's the same reason why at the Army-Navy game of all games, Donald Trump is there with J.D. Vance. They are shown on a big board that has a humongous Palantir logo right next to them. But hey, just a penny for thoughts. You know, one tweeter rightfully put it, the Eagles skipped the Trump White House because cozying up to bigots is not a bold strategy in the long term, unless, of course, if you're Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, as such, Elon Musk, to protect your assets, because the oligarchy will always align with fascists. It is to protect their capital. But the Eagles did it. Stephen Curry, Steve Kerr, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, Golden State Warriors, they did it because they see the writing on the wall. Of note, it appears that he did not serve McDonald's at this very venue. But in closing, what really gets me about all this is that we are living in dark times, unprecedented times. And what this is doing is saying fascism is okay. And I've gone back and forth on the ritual that is having the championship teams come visit a president. But when a man tries to overthrow democracy, when a man, in my opinion, has his loyalists storm the Capitol, when he is aligning with white supremacist movements, when he takes a very long time to reject an endorsement such as one coming from David Duke, when he wants to be king, when he pardons somebody who wore a Camp Auschwitz shirt, when he allows us and the government to be taken hostage, it is okay to not go. And I understand that there are a lot of players who probably feel as though they have to go. I wouldn't even say a lot. Maybe a few who feel like, you know what, I have to. You don't. You don't. And I think what will benefit you long term is taking that stance and showing that you do not have to be part of a photo op and a team that will manufacture the consent of a fascist in this vein. It is awful where we have sort of gone, and I really, really hope that there are brighter days ahead.